Hello, I'm David from ePianos, Whitney Bay Organs, Genos Tipsters and Tyros Tipsters, and that was my version of Hello, the Lionel Richie song from the 80s. Hope you liked it. I put some sounds into the registration buttons to make it a little bit easier, but all I did was I started off with the Hello that was in the music finder from Tyros 5 and just made a few tweaks. And what you can do, on the beauty of the Genos, is that you can actually put those into the extra buttons, because all of the registrations in the music finder and the registrations for songs that we give you, they only often use one button, so you can use all the others for your own sound. So I put in number 1 as a piano at the top with another piano at the bottom, and then we've got, and I put some choirs in the bottom. So I saved those in, and that meant that I could use them all in a row, and that's what probably many of you do. We're going to go through today with some more tips for you. We've got some more questions to answer from some of your emails and messages. Thanks for supporting this. We're trying to get this to show you more features, but we need your support to tell us what you want to know about. So anything at all that you feel is a subject that you think other people might want to know about too, or don't be embarrassed, just let us know and we'll try and explain some of these features, because we're doing this most days, so we get to know about the different features that you might want to know about yourself. I'm using a Genos. It's got the update to version 2. If any of you are using a Genos and you haven't had it updated, there was an update that came out, I have a feeling it was about January 2020, and it brought some extra features. It moved the memory around, and it brought in a new feature called chord looper. So if you were to go to your menu button and you go to the keyboard, in the top right hand corner you might just see it here. When we press the menu 1, top right here with a little gap above it is chord looper, and if yours hasn't got the chord looper, that means it's still on the older version. And we have lots of blogs on our website which explain how to upload the new version, and we can also help you with that if you get stuck too. So if you've got one that didn't come from us after 2020 and you wanted some help with it, or if you've got an older version, then you might want to update it, because there are more facilities that are all totally free and they're from Yamaha, and it makes it a better instrument. Okay, now on our website we have an area called the blog area, and if you go to the top left of ePianos.co.uk, top left is a menu, drops down, at the bottom of that menu is one that says blog, and that blog will give you literally tens or hundreds, I'm sure, of different write-ups we've made to give you tips on using your keyboard, or about the music industry, about our store. So do have a look at that. It's called the blog section. And also we've got in that same menu on the top left, we've got an area called EPTV. Now that is where we've collated all of the videos, all of these live streams that I'm doing and that Chris has done, and all of our other videos comparing models and showing you features and explaining features. They're all in that area too, and you can look for just your instrument. If you've got a Tyros or a DGX or a Genos, you can look and see the videos that are specific to what you want to know about. So do look there. Also, for our video today, please put a little thumbs up, like if you're enjoying it, so we know that it's worth us continue with these. And if you've got any questions, do share them with us. You can type them in and then I'll see them. Let's see if anyone's actually watching today. Let's have a quick look at this. So, Jacob Ellis, I find apart from the boys' choir, a lot of choir voices are a bit disappointing. Do you agree? I think there's a lot of choir voices that I wouldn't use, but I think there are some really good ones in there too. And I think the beauty of getting loads to choose from is that you'll find the ones that you like. Someone else might choose some different ones. I like the U's and the R's. Some of the doobie, I'll show you, some of the ones that are in there are a little bit, perhaps ones that you can't use so easily. So we've got the standard ones like the choir ooh. And those are great if you mix it with a church organ to get that big full church full sound. We've got the R's. So really big sound again. The scat stuff is just really good fun. And if you sort of play the two hands with your left hand just playing a bass note. Shoe. Now some of these do more things. So we've got, if we go to page 2, we've got the ones that go shooby doo bar and shooby doo bar. What should we do? They're great fun, but I don't think there's a huge place for them in playing most music really. But yeah, the page 2 is more sort of fun stuff. Who are you? Who are you? And then we go to some more choir sounds, which are nice. What I quite often do is I turn off the accompaniment button, and this is good for choirs, it's good for church sounds, some of the organ sounds too. So I've got my choirs on, and all I've done is I've turned off all the chords. So if I was going to play a D minor chord, I'd probably just play the D in my left hand and maybe play the D minor in my right hand. If it comes to keyboards. And you get that nice big full effect. If we do the same with another one. So I'm essentially playing my left hand chord with my right hand and just playing a bass note. The lower you go, it doesn't sound so good. So I'd probably try and play in my middle octaves. If we go to another page, let's see what we've got. Ooh vibrato. You can almost get the sort of barbershop effect, can't you? We've got some more jazz scat legato. So my left hand would often be a bit like my bass pedal on an organ we're playing, so I can play the walking bass. So yeah, there's some good sounds in there. I think it's worth experimenting. You've got 6 pages of them and they've all got different effects, but some of them are more for fun, I think, probably, as you're right. Some of the doobie-doo-ahs, you might not be able to use it totally in a song. Maybe someone will prove me wrong and send me a video of them playing with that being used. But I like using all the U's and the R's, and some of the scat stuff is really good. The scat, incidentally, if you press at different amounts, you get different sounds. If we went to, I think it's probably the jazz scat vocal. If I go softly, we get the wee sound. If we press harder, we get a do sound. A bit harder, shoo, bar. So we've got do, wee, shoo and bar, depending on how hard I hit. So have an experiment. So yeah, Jacob Ellis, that's a really starting question. Thank you. I like some of them. Some of them I wouldn't use myself. Robbie Cox. Hi Robbie. What is the simplest way to keep your left hand voice on constantly, as I find I light up on variation but it goes off. I find I light it up on variation 1 but it goes off on B, C and D. It does go off. You've got the hold Let's just have a look. You mean left-hand voice? Get left-hand voice on constantly. You've got a hold on here, which will do that for you, but it does go off again. I think the way you've got to think about it is if you're going to use a batch of them, is to memorize them into your registration batch, and that will then keep that hold effect on all the time. I don't think there's a way around it, because you're going to find that each one changes. Now I've got something we'll try in a minute, that one of the things I want to show you today is to put your own one-touch settings in. So one of the features that you can do on this, and some people don't realize, is that any of the styles that have the 4 sounds that go with them, you can actually program your own sounds to go with the styles, and they could be your own one-touch settings. So what we'll try in a minute, I don't know if this will work, but we can just try and see if that would also record the left hold, and that might be our way to do it. We'll get to that in a minute and see if we can help you with that one, Robbie. Okay, Terence Parker, just 2 seconds. Rob Cox, question 2, left voice. So we'll have a look in a minute. I don't think there's a way without memorizing them into the registration buttons, but we will. We'll look at that in a sec. Okay. Yeah, upgrade from another instrument to a Tyros. If any of you want to upgrade to a Genos from something other than a Tyros 5 that we mentioned, we were doing 1649 upgrade at the moment. Email me, sales@ombmusic.co.uk, and we will look at doing some better prices for you. We always want to look after everybody and get some extra sales. Watching again from Newcastle. Oh, this is a good one. Dennis Noble. Dennis, you asked about the pedal settings. So if you've got pedal settings that you want to use, and every time you go to a different registration they drop off, it's because you haven't ticked a box in the memory area. So when we go to record one of our settings into the 10 registration buttons, this is exactly the same on Tyros as well, or SX or S series. We press this memory button, and most normally you just press it and you press the button you want to store, and it disappears off the screen. But if we press the memory button, the screen will change to lots of tick boxes. Now what you want to make sure is that when you're going to include foot pedals, as in anything to change anything with your feet, then there's a foot pedal tick, and you need to make sure that that is ticked before you save your registrations, and that will then include the pedal settings within your registration. Now I've just been making those sounds up for Hello that I've just been playing. You need to make sure when you've made any changes that you save it back in again. So if you were to go through, if I was going to add foot pedals to my registrations, I would go to setup number, the first one. I would then go into my memory, where I memorize it, and make sure the foot pedals were set. If they weren't, then you need to add the foot pedal each time. So you'd need to go direct access, tap each pedal and set what you want, and then you can memorize them in with the foot pedal ticked, and save them into each button as you go along. You've got to make sure you select the button, then make the changes, then memorize the new settings including the foot pedals, and then finally what you need to do is you need to go to the registration banks, 2 buttons together, and then go to File at the top of the screen and then resave it, and it will say save here, yes. Keep the name exactly the same if you're just going to add something to it, okay. And then it will say, do you want to overwrite what was already in there? And yes, you would, because you want to overwrite it with those pedal settings. So yes, and that will then make all those changes, including all the ones that you've put allocated pedals to. So Dennis, hope that helps. Call me if you want some more help going through that. But essentially, yes, you need to memorize any of your registrations with the correct pedal settings and include foot pedals in that page that comes up. It's very easy just to press memory and the button and not see that page, but if you press the memory on its own, you don't need to press it at the same time as the buttons. A lot of people think you've got to press them exactly the same time, but you can press the memory button, see what's being ticked, and then just at your leisure press the button that you want to store that setting into. Okay, I hope that helps you, Dennis. Okay, let's see what everybody else has put. Many thanks, much okay. Terence Parker, Cool and the Gang. Is that our nickname or is that yours? Am I the Cool or the Gang? Okay. Neville Jolly. Hi David. Sunny. County Durham, Durham City. I love your dog. That's Winnie. Yeah, Winnie, my cockapoo. She's great. Okay. Malcolm Atkinson. Nice to have you with us. Hi Malcolm. Robert Miles. Oh, your famous name, Robert Miles. I hope you enjoy these tips and tricks. Watching for more things about Genos I didn't know. Well, we're trying to show you things that you didn't know about the Genos, and we'll try and keep spreading this word. Afternoon, everyone. Alan Arneson. Hi, Alan. John Perry. Oh, now John Perry is a great friend of mine, and he makes the best breakfasts. Very northern Yorkshire breakfast. So nice to hear from you, John, and nice to catch up yesterday. Okay, Robbie Cox, love your dog. It's Winnie. She's a cockapoo, and she's about 18 months old. She's lovely. You've got a black one called Reggie. Oh, we'll have to get them together. That'll be fun. Okay, Chris Berry. Hi, Chris. First time visitor. My Genos playing. Wow, that's good news. I'm pleased to have you with us today. Thanks, Chris. Robert Miles. Enjoy these tips and tricks watching for more things I didn't know. Alan Bourne from Felixstowe. Hi, Alan. Nice to have you with us. Okay, I've lost my page. Oh, there's lots of people today. Struth. Hope we can keep you all happy. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go into some more. Just say hello to Alan Hickman from Missouri again in the USA. It's 8 o'clock in the morning there. Great, Alan. Carol Pelfrey. Hi, Carol. Find your online events very informative. Well, I'm pleased that's the case. Mike. Hi, Mick Sayers. Chinna. Simone from Blackburn. Terence Parker. Woodham Ferrers. Okay, John Long. Hi, John. Agree with Jacob. The choir voice is disappointing. I suppose it depends what you want them to be. Perhaps you should let us know and we'll forward to Yamaha the sort of choir sounds that you want to hear. Is it the quality of them or the choice? Let me know and I'll pass it on. Why do I wear headphones? Charlie, why do I wear headphones? I think it's because this microphone would pick up all the sound that I'm saying and all the sound from the Genos. And there'd then be an echo and a feedback because it would keep picking up its own sound. So the idea is that if I can hear through the headphones, this microphone, which I'm not allowed to tap, I've been told, will only pick up the sound of my voice. And then you'll hear all the sound just from the output, which we've got straight to the recording system that Charlie's using. Flo, my daughter's got COVID in the garden. She's nearly better now, fortunately, not been too bad. Stephen Johnson. Starting off with one of my favourites. Yeah, Hello, I love it. It's a great track. Jeff Canham. Hi, Jeff. First time here. Well, there's a few to catch up on if you want to go back. You can watch all of the old videos we've made in our EPTV area, the top left of our website menu, and you can see them all and you can see the latest ones that we've done. Phil Bourne. Hi, Phil. Thanks for keeping it going. Love all the info. That's good. Alan Hickman, appropriate song. Hello, it is appropriate. I hadn't really thought about it like that, but yeah, all the others weren't very appropriate then that I did. Good song, 5-minute coding. John Ridgway, John in Hereford. Hi, John. Michael Sullivan. Hi, David. Enjoying your question and answer. Would you please do a review of the chord looper function? We did chord looper actually a couple of days ago on, I did Blue Moon and I put it through the chord loop. So if you were looking at one of these from about a week ago, we did do chord looper, but I will do some more about that because it's a great facility just to put some tracks in and it'll play them back. I'll try and send you a link afterwards, Michael, and we'll get that to you. Peter Welsh from Northampton. Hi, Peter. Neil Brown. Neil in Washington. Great tips and way to navigate your way through Genos. Many thanks. Thanks, Neil. Paul Ashby. Hi, everyone. Hi, Paul. Hi, David from Highworth. Keith Waite. Hi, Keith. Good to have you with us. N. Woven. Hi, everyone. Nick from Sutton. Sorry, first time watching. All these newbies, truth, making me even more nervous. David Martin. Hi, everyone. David from Merchester. Dave Tuttle. Good afternoon from Plymouth. Ah, lovely place. Colin Butler. Hi, David. Listening from sunny Eastbourne. Terence Parker. Are these on SX models too? I'm not quite sure what we're talking about now. I expect it's when you do the memory thing, and yes, it is all on there. Now let's go to something else I was going to show you, because I've got lots of things to show you. Okay, so if I can just get to my reminder of what I'm going to show you. I want to show you first of all how you can save your own sounds into the one-touch settings. Yamaha have made these amazing settings, and personally I leave the OTS link on this left-hand side. There's this button that you can press, which is just out of shot, but it's just above intro 2 and it's called OTS link. So what that's essentially doing is it's given me the 4 sounds that are in the right hand buttons just here, these 1, 2, 3 and 4 buttons, and these are suggestions of sounds that work really well with the rhythm that we've got selected, the style we've got selected. So what the OTS link does is if I press the A button, you'll see that number 1 comes up. If I move my finger to just in the shot of the D button, you'll see number 4 comes on. or the C button gives number 3. So what they're doing is they're giving me sounds that Yamaha have decided is really good for each of the styles. Now what we can do is we can put our own sound into the settings, so that we can put our favorite settings in, and maybe some of the ones that they've given us aren't our favorites. So if there's a registration, a style that you've got, and you think, well, I don't quite like the first one, I don't like the second one, we can change these 1, 2, 3 and 4s to our own settings. Now let's say if I just choose a backing, we'll just go into a typical one. Let's go into country. We're going to country folk 8-beat. I don't think you've ever used that one before. And if I play at the moment what we're going to get, let's have a listen to it. So number 1, number 2, piano, number 3, now that last one, that guitar, is actually quite hard to play, because if you play with too many sort of notes down at the time, it does all the bending. That's a good effect if you can get used to it. But let's say I want to just change that last sound because I don't particularly get on well with it. I might want to change it for some nice strings or organ or something, or a violin or something. So I'm going to change that last sound. Well, all I'm going to do, I'm going to set up my keyboard. I've got it set on that one. So I'm just going to exit back to the main screen and see that's called the resonator guitar, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to change it for a fiddle. So I'm going to press the sound on the screen. Okay, I'm going to go to my string section and I'm going to find my string. I've got a Celtic violin there, got a jazz violin. That will be fine for what I'm going to do. So I've made my changes and I'm now going to memorize those changes into button number 4. Okay, so when I press button number 4, again it would lose it. So what I'm going to do is going to press the memory button first, and I'm going to check what's selected. So I've got all my same things that I would normally put into my registration area, and I'm going to press number 4 and it will flash, and that means I've now saved it temporarily into number 4. So if I start playing now, it will be there, but I'm going to lose it if I don't now save the changes. Now what I've got to remember is that I've used the style as a preset style, and I need to change over to a user style. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a user style, and on the screen here it says one touch setting data has been changed. If you select another style, the save without executing the save operation, the data will be lost. So it says, do you want to save it? Now yes, I do, and it won't change my preset. It will add an extra style to the user area. So I'm going to press yes. You can hear Winnie probably now, and then we can now save into the user area a registration with these 4 together on this style, and I'm going to save it. So I'm going to go save here. Okay, and it says country folk 8-beat. I'm going to call it country folk 8-beat, and I'm going to put DC after it, and then OK. And what that's done is it's duplicated the style. So I've now got a user version of the style that I was using, and it's got the changes to the one touch settings that I've made. So if we now go to the user area, if we're in the style section, it's showing me now that it is in the user section, and it's showing me my country folk 8-beat, and that's going to give me the change to my settings. And if we remember what we did yesterday, where we go to menu and we go to style information, it will now show me that number 4 has got a jazz violin inside it rather than the previous sound. So to make changes to our one touch settings, we can memorize them just like we're memorizing a registration, and then we can save them into the 4 buttons, or one of the buttons, or all of them, and then at the end we can save the style. It automatically asks us, do we want to save it? And we do, and we can save it into the user area, and that's where the user styles that you will then make up with your changes to the OTS settings will then be available. Now what I would suggest, if we go back to the camera, if we go to the file button, and we can make a file that will actually give you all of your new changes, because at the moment we're if you bought a Genos from us, we'll have added all the different styles that were from Tyros 5, 235 extra styles into that user area. So you want to make them a bit separate so you know quickly where yours are. So what I would recommend is either putting a prefix in, so when you name them you could put in 00 or a dash, and that brings them to the beginning, because everything with a little symbol before it will become the first ones that you see in the user area, just like your registrations and songs. But also, if you make a folder, you can put all of your favorite newly made registrations in your styles as a user style excuse me, and then they can be saved in a folder, and then you'll know exactly where to find them. So if I now make a new folder, we'll go to the screen again. I'll go to new folder in this user area. We're in the style orange area. I put a new folder, so I'm going to change the name. I'm going to hold down the delete, and that's a good idea. Thank you very much. Quick swig. J2O, not beer. And we'll put in the title. I'll put in there, let's just put in new styles or user styles. Let's make that small letters. So small case, user styles. Okay, and that's now put the user style folder at the beginning. Okay, and then what we can do there, we can move across, and this is something that people have been asking me about. We can move across our newly found style. What was it called? We've got to find it now. Country Folk 8-bit, still lit up. Look, that's good. I can copy that, or I can cut it. Now, if I copy it, it will duplicate it both in the main list, and it will put it into my folder as well. But I want to cut it because I don't want to keep it in this list of all the Taros 5 ones. So I'm going to go File and Cut. No, I haven't got Move. I've got Move on this, so I'm going to move it. Okay, and then I'm going to move. I'm going to press the Move button. And then I'm going to go into my folder where I want to put it and move it here. And that's now put it in my folder. So we've now got my first one in my folder. Now to come out of the folder, bottom right hand corner, you've got the arrow. And if we press that, that comes back out and shows me the user styles folder where I'm putting the ones that I've made. And if I go into that, you can see my Country Folk 8-bit DC new style. And that's the version that's got in number 4. And if I go back to my preset version, I can go back to a presets at the top of the screen and go to my Country Folk 8-bit. Number 4 is going to give me. So I've still got the original one, but I've got my new version, which is in the user area, and there it is, Country Folk 8-bit DC. So really good way to make changes to certain versions of the sounds and settings that you've got in there that you don't particularly use. You could have your own versions attached to a style, and then when you go into your one-touch settings, they're your versions. If anybody wants any more help on that, I'll try and do some kind of handout, I think, that will explain it further. But essentially you're memorizing into the buttons, and then you're going to save the style as a user style, and that will keep all of your own user settings. Okay. Let me know if you found that useful. Let me also know of anything you want help with, and any styles that you love. I would love to share more ideas of which styles you love. And if you're finding this useful, little thumbs up, like at the bottom of the video really helps for other people to know about us. Okay, let's have a quick look at your questions then. David Tuttle, good afternoon from Plymouth. Done you twice now, David. Colin Butler, listening from sunny Eastbourne, lovely. Terence Parker, Phil Shepherd, sunny Barry Island, lovely. Very informative, useful. Thank you very much, Paul. And Rob from Lymington, New Forest. I was down in Lymington a few weeks ago. I went to the Pig, fantastic restaurant nearby. Very, very lovely. Okay, Chris Perry in Bristol. Are there alternative fills available for a particular rhythm? Alternative fills available. You've really only got the 4 fills that you would get when you press the A, B, C or D for the rhythms. There are ways that you can mix and match, and the break is a great way as a fill I use. You can also use intro number 1 very often. There's just a little counting in between, but I don't have any extra fills as such, but you can use the multi-pads, which we're going to go into a bit as well in a few minutes. So I'll show you the multi-pads. So fills, I don't have extra ones, but I'll have a think about that one. Okay, hi Richard Fuller. Don't know where you are, Richard. Okay, Philip Jarvis, hi hi Phil, how are you doing? All right. Phil's amazing. Phil's blind, and he's got a new facility on his Genos, which Yamaha have brought out, which is to help people who are partially sighted or blind, where you can actually be told what button you're pressing. So as you press an area of the keyboard, it says registration 4, or it says piano, and you get this voice coming through, and it's a really clever way to include more people on playing the Genos. So Yamaha have brought this really clever thing out called, I think it's called voice command or something, but really good. Good show. Thanks, Phil. Thank you very much. Okay, Sweep's Best Pal. That's an interesting name. I got a sweep as your logo. Is it necessary to punch the keys so hard and play stiffly to the keyboard? It's not necessary at all, really, no, and that's a fault of mine. You can set the keyboard to be a lighter touch or a heavier touch. That won't affect how you press them. I know when I get keen into something, you can end up playing and the whole keyboard stands rocking around, and the break button is, you whack it so hard because you want it to be this big empowering thing, but essentially I think it depends on what you've been playing. If you've learnt on an organ or a piano, you tend to have a different touch. Piano people tend to have a very light touch because they want to put expression into all their playing just from the keys and then doing it all themselves, whereas on a keyboard you kind of get into the habit of pressing hard. Now you can set the hardness of how hard you have to press the keys, and this is something we covered the other day, but I'll just touch on it, Sweeps, for you. So if you wanted to set the touch lighter or heavier so that you get the effects coming easier, if you've got a bit older and your hands are struggling to press that hard, you can set the key so you don't have to press so hard to get all the effects. And if we go into the menu, got to get the right button now. If we go to the menu 2, I think it is, and we go keyboard joystick, we've got an area called initial touch, and we can decide on the touch, the effort needed to how hard to press to get the effects. So if it's a guitar with lots of effects when you play and you want to press them for the vibrato and things, you can set this normal to a softer touch so you get the effects easier, or a hard touch. So on this screen here, I went to, just to show you again, we went to menu. We can press the menu button to jump between the two menus, and on menu 2 in keyboard joystick we can go to touch curve. We just touch that box and we've got normal, easy 1, easy 2, soft 1, soft 2, hard 1, hard 2. Now if you set it to soft 2, then you'll get the easiness to get all those effects. Some people who want to get the wibbly effect on the trumpet and things, you don't get those so easily, so we can put it to easy and that will make them much easier to get those effects. Hard means you've got to press quite hard to get those effects, so it's just a case of trying it all out and getting a setting that you like, and that will just stay. Once you set it, it stays in the keyboard for you. Okay, so we've just done that for sweep there. I hope that helps, and sorry, it's a habit of mine to press hard, but it makes you feel better when you're playing. Okay, Andy Long, any chance of full keyboard AI settings? Full keyboard AI I need to really do when I'm back at the shop, really, just to get into that. But the AI is a way that you can make your bass notes be choosable even though you're playing a particular chord. So the same effect that an organist would have where their foot's playing the bass, AI is a facility where you can set that. But I will go through that, Andy, but not today. Okay, user style save. Yeah, that's a good way. Terence Parker, thank you. Keith Waite, possibly we are talking about the difference that fills have been major and minor chords. The old techniques often had different fills. Yeah, the fills do vary, just like the intros and the ending, depending on whether it's a major or minor chord. You do get different effects coming through, so that might be something. Clear at the same time, no paste. I think that might have cleared up some for me, and no paste now. Not quite sure what that means. Okay. Right, I'll go into something else for you now. Then we want to show you the multipad. Someone was asking me, let me just log into the right page so I can just see the questions that people have been asked. I've saved them all in advance and then I had to change it. So if we go to recent, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, here we go. I forgot to say hello to Ian Thompson from Crew yesterday, so hi Ian, I'm sorry I missed you out on the questions. Okay, so editing out one-touch settings, we've done that now. Gary Hansford asked about the Glenn Miller sounds. There's some really good Glenn Miller sounds built into the one-touch settings in this keyboard, and there's two that I'll show you today which are both good for Moonlight Serenade. If we go into the rhythm section, you can just press the orange box on the screen, and then we go into the which section is it? Oh, I should have remembered this. It's in the easy listening, I think. Yeah, easy listening. And on page 2, we've got 2 styles that are really, really good for using the Glenn Miller sound. Now, Midnight Swing is the first one I'm going to show you. And Midnight Swing, I'm going to use with intro number 1, which just counts you in, because I think the others aren't quite in the way of Glenn Miller. And I'm going to use D, which is the big sound for the sort of saxophones and clarinets. So I've got Midnight Swing turned on. I'm going to use intro number 1, and I'm going to use the D backing, okay? And let's just play the first chord. Stop before it gets to the hard bit. Okay, let's go to another one. Fortis Swing Band. It's the one below, and this also is very good for the Glenn Miller sound. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to use intro number 3. Now we've got some good settings. We've got on A, the vibes I probably wouldn't use. B is a clarinet. Beautiful clarinet. C is strings, and D is that sound again. So what I'm going to start off with clarinet, intro 3 first. I'm going to go to C now. Really nice sound there. So that's a Glenn Miller sound, Fortis Swing Band, and I've used D for the sort of main setting, but you've got a B on the clarinet and the beautiful Mantovani strings on the C button. So they're really useful. The other one we get asked a lot about is Acapulco, Stranger on the Shore. And if you go into the, I'm going to remember where these are again now. If you go to the same easy listening section and go to Dreamy Ballad, this is set up on the C button for a wonderful clarinet sound. So let's see what this sounds like. So intro 2. That's a great setting as well. So that's some Dreamy Ballad, and that's in the easy listening section of the styles on page 1, and it just gives you a really good full setting. All the things just suit Acapulco very, very well. So that's the Acapulco stuff. Okay, now then, Tommy asked me about getting a strumming effect. Now in the multipads you have some strumming effects that just go on while you're playing, but I want to show you how you can use the harmony feature to give you a strumming effect. Really good for guitars. If you like playing the guitar, acoustic guitar sounds and things, you can use it for ukuleles and everything as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up in my melody, I'm going to turn off the OTS link for a minute, just because that always sets things up that you don't want when you're messing up with your own sound. So I've got my chord there, and I'm going to choose a guitar first of all from my first section. I've got my other two turned off, and I'm just going to go to the guitar section, acoustic guitars, and I'm going to go to a concert guitar. Really nice guitar sound. Now if we want to use the harmony feature, we can set it up in this right hand side just over here, and turn it on or off. But if we wanted to do it where it gave me a different effect to harmony, I've got to go in and change it to what I want it to do. So I'm going to press this direct access button, and then I'm going to go across to the harmony just above the right 2. I'm going to press that button there. Now on the screen now you'll see the harmony is chosen. It's currently turned off, but I can turn it off on the panel, or I can turn it on and off on this button just here. And I can go down to lots of effects. I've got echo, I've got arpeggios, I've got loads of arpeggios, but at the top here I've got just one second. In the harmony I can go down to give you lots of choices of harmonies, and we want to go down to the 4th page, and down here we've got strum, and we've got octave, and we've got the 1st and the 5th. We can change the sort of type of effects that are coming through. So I'm going to turn it to strum now and have a listen to what it does when I play my left hand chord. So it's effectively, I'm playing one note, but because I'm playing a left hand chord, it's putting those notes of the camera into, it's basically putting the left hand chords into the right hand melody. So if I put a different sound on, let's just go back to a different guitar, resonator. It's not working quite so well. Let's just go into a different one. Let's go to certain sounds it will work better than this. We've got 12 string. This is really good. So it's effectively putting the chord notes into the guitar sound, and it's making them strum. So we've got a ukulele here. Not so effective on there. Let's try it on electroacoustic. We'll turn it off for a minute, and with it, so I can use it for lots. I can use it with a piano sound if I wanted to. And it's effectively giving me that strumming effect. So we can change it to different sounds, but it's giving us another feature. Electric guitars it would work with if we go to electric guitars. So the strumming effect is direct access into your harmony feature. In fact, it came off, so let's just put that back on strum again. Okay, that's why it jumped off. When I went to a different sound, it jumped off. So let's just go back into some of those voices again. Does it automatically change then? If I go to, let's go back to acoustic guitars. Let's go to piano and check it's still on. No, it went to trio, so it is changing. Even though I've not got the OTS link on, it's changing to a different harmony. You've got to make sure you go back and select it when you want this effect. So strum. That's better. So do try this. It's in the harmony feature. You can turn it on and off on the harmony page or on the top of the keyboard here, and you've got the strum effect. Now another one in there is octave, and that's particularly nice for a piano sound. You've got some octave sounds anyway now, but that strum effect, do try it, and I hope that's helped you, Tommy, to get the strumming effect that you wanted by turning on the harmony and going into the harmony and down to the bottom of the page 4, which is strum. Okay, that's another little tip for you. Okay, pedal settings to stay when changing registration. So I think we've covered this. What you've basically got to make sure is if anything you're changing in registrations, you've got to make sure that you store into them the changes, and when you press this memory button, you've got to make sure that the foot pedals are ticked. I think we covered that earlier for you. That was I think it was Dennis Noble. Okay, 3 notes together to stop the drums. When you're playing in the drum area, you can actually stop all the backing and just keep the drums going. And this is a little trick that the guys at Yamaha showed me. If we're playing, let's just get through to a different song. If we go to a different style, we're going to pop, and we're going to boy band pop. If I play 3 notes together, all next to each other, the drums will stop. Will carry on, but everything else in the background changes. So it's the drums stay on and all the backing goes, and we get that like a cymbal in the change. So let's go to something different. We go to rhythm and blues, swing soul, and it just leaves the drummer playing. Okay, so any rhythm that you're in, if you want to just have just the drums and all the backing kind of too much at that point, hit 3 notes together that are all including the blacks, so you get not 3 in a row but 3 all joined together, and that will then cut off the backing and just leave the drums. So that's a really good feature to try any rhythm. Let's just try one more. Soul shuffle, and just the drums carry on there. So that's a little thing to try. Okay, clearing registrations for John Long, edit button and the top note. Okay, so if you wanted to clear your registrations on a Genos, it's a little bit easier than a Tyros. You can hold the top note but 1 down, and that will actually mean that you'll lose all the button lights, so you can start afresh with your own set. But there is a way on the screen that we can actually delete some of these lights and without having to turn the keyboard off. So if you've got some settings that you like, but you want to just change some of the ones, I've got this set in there at the moment. So let's go to the screen now, Charlie. And what we'll do is we'll go into this registration area here, and what we're going to do, we're going to go in by pressing these 2 black notes together, back buttons together, registration bank, and then we're in our one that's called hello. This is my file, and I'm going to go to menu, and I'm going to go to registration bank edit. Now this shows me that I didn't actually name all of my sounds, so it's just called them hello. But if we want to delete some of these out now, we can do that. We can select the ones that we want to delete, so it might be we select a few at the same time, and then we press delete, and it says, do you want to delete them? Yes. And that's now deleted all of those registrations, so I can put some fresh ones in, and they've all gone from here. And I can do the last one. I highlight it, I press delete, and it says, do you want to delete that last one? Yes. And that then deletes it for me. And if I want to put some new ones in now, I can just memorize and go through and add my new ones in there. If I don't want that to actually be fixed for good, I want to keep them and get them back again, if I close that, when I go into another one now, it will say, oh, you've made some changes, do you want to save those? And I actually this time don't want to. Normally I'd probably would change the changes, but I don't want to lose my settings, so I'm going to put don't save, and then in my hello we've still got them all here for me, look. And if any of you want that selection of hello registrations, do let me know and I can forward those to you. Happy to send them on to you. We can also rename, so if you've got all these registrations and you want to have some in your own particular names of how you're going to remember what you've got in there, go into menu, go into registration bank, edit again, and we can select them when we want to rename and press the rename button just to the right here, and then we could call it hello, and the first one might be a piano, okay, and that will then name it hello piano, and we can go through all the names and put them in exactly how we want. So do have a think about if you want to do that. And when you've done that, when we go back to menu and registration bank info, it will then show us on the screen the name of each button as we select it. It shows us in green and the component sounds that you're going to get in those buttons. There we go. So do have a fiddle with that too. And if you want more help, again, do let us know. Okay, now we talked about the graphic EQ yesterday, and we went into some changes and we called it the smiley face. I made a bit of an error actually. I realised playing with it this morning that there's a lot more change you can make by going into the decibel effects of the sound. So I'm just going to go through that again with you. If we go back to that sound, we'll go back to the piano sound just to show you. Okay, and I'm going to go into the mixer effect. So on the main screen at the bottom you've got these 6, and I'm going to go into mixer, and then I've got an EQ on the left hand side, and I've also got master at the top. Panel, we want to go into panel EQ. Here we go. In fact, that's not quite right. Just a minute. Master. Right, so go to master at the top and then go down to EQ on the left hand side. Now we've got lots of settings in here. The ones that I meant to change and I didn't realize it wasn't making such a difference, is that you can actually change these at the bottom of the screen. They're the gains. Now what I'm going to do on my gains to make it a setting that I like is I'm going to change, you've got 8 altogether of the gains, and I'm going to go from the left hand side and do +6, +5, +3, +1, and I'm going to mirror that the other side too. So if I press my first gain and then can we go a bit closer? Are you getting a bit closer? Okay, so we're going to go to the first gain, and I'm going to go there and I'm going to use my data wheel to set it, and I'm going to set it to +6. Then I'm going to go to +5 in the second, +3, +1, +1, and then 3 and 5 and 6 again. And again, if you want to be reminded of this, let me know, but you can probably watch this video. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to save that setting into one of the user areas, so it won't affect all of my playing for good, but I'm going to go down arrow and I'm going to save it as, I've called it DC, and I can type in whatever I want. OK, and that's now given it a user setting. So if we compare the sound of the instrument with a flat setting, this is the mellow setting, this is the bright setting, loud setting, powerful setting, and the one I just made is a user 1 setting. And what it's done is it's bringing the bass up and the treble, but it's keeping the middle lower down, so it's given us a more of a shape like a smile. And if I play with the rhythm section on, let's keep that setting for a minute. I'm going to put it on to just to the one that comes on Sky Pop every time you play, and put my style on. So if I set it first of all with the flat setting, okay, let's go into this again, into the bear with me while I'm finding this, just a minute. Okay, so where's it gone? Where's the mixer? First one. Okay, we've got the mixer on now, and this is the flat setting with the rhythm playing. Okay, now if I change that to the next setting, which is mellow, just softens it a little bit. But if I move my way down, I'm going to go down to my setting now. Compared to flat again. Now it's different. When we went to the loudness one, it brought all of them up. So the whole effect was a much sort of deeper, and it gave you all the middle. And my setting with the smile effect. So do have a fiddle with that bottom gain line, and I've put 6, 5, 3, 1, 1, 3, 5, 6. So I've basically given it a 6 at each side, then 5s, then 3s, then 1s, and that's effectively the smile curve. And it just boosts up the treble, it boosts up the bass, keeps the middle down because that's that sort of strange sound in the middle, and I think you'll find it will make a big difference. But you can save it as a user and you can bring it in when you want to see the difference. But do try that. That's the 8-band EQ in the master section, and it's the gain on the bottom line, and that just brings that boost, makes the keyboard sound very different, and I prefer it personally. Okay, now then, that's the graphic smell. Now also someone asked about organ sounds. Let's just have a look at your comments just to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Okay, so on board for another session, Rhythm Medway. Hi Richard. Please forward hello registrations to my email address, Dennis Noble. Yes, I'll do that for you, Dennis. Tip yesterday on using some of the styles at half speed is really great, as they provide new styles with some cool backing sounds. Thank you, Richard. Well, I find that's a really good way to reinvent a style that you've been using, or you find one that you found was too fast. So that's a good way to, I think, yes. Stephen Johnson, I agree, Richard, half speed can be really good. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for agreeing with me. Learning Tyros, you can have an automated repeat strum in live control, but you cannot save it. Have you tried? Live control automated repeat strum. No, I haven't. I'll find out about that and we'll include that in one of the future ones. Okay, Patrick Manelli. Hi Patrick, many thanks for sorting me out this week. Enjoying your performance as usual. Patrick in Bangor, Northern Ireland. That's okay, get you all sorted gradually, one by one. Okay, Terence Farrell. Wow, Acker built chords and tune. Thank you very much, Terence. There's some nice chords. The major 7th chords work really well for a nice effect in chords. Okay, thanks Marco. Thumbs up for Marco, thank you. Well played, David. Two of my favourites, Paul Ashby, thank you. Keith Waite, there's a really good Miller sound in the ensemble voices. It's called Miller Time on page 2. Don't think I found that. I'll have a look at that, and we'll look at that another time then and share it with other people. So if you want to try that at home, in the ensemble voices, it's called Miller Time on page 2. Okay. Thanks, Dave, from Robbie Cox. Thanks, Robbie. Bom dia from Damiel Duarte again. Thank you very much. In Brazil. I think that's the flag for Brazil. Paul Ashby, I think that might have played at the same time. Okay, so that's helped a few of you. That's what it's all about, just sharing the love of Genos. Okay, now Barry Millington asked about a cowbell sound. I haven't had a chance to practice this, but we'll have a quick look and see if we can find the cowbell sound for you, Barry. If we go into the drum kit section, so if we go to the voice area and we just turn on one section, I'm going to turn on the drum kit area, and we'll go to the Afro-Cuban kit, which is on the first page, and that means that all of the sounds on the keyboard become a different drum kit sound. So I'm going to go through a few. Got some tweakers. I think you'll find the sound will be there. So if you go into the drum kit voices, that sounds like a cowbell. There's loads in there, and you'll find the sound that I think you'll want. So that's the drum kit sounds in the main voice area, and then you can do what you want with them. Okay. Now the last thing I want to show you is the multipads, and the multipads themselves are really good to use on their own or with a rhythm section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the rhythms first of all and just play and show you how you can add the multipads in. If I go to a jazzy rhythm, let's go into acoustic jazz. Okay, just a simple background. Okay, that's playing in the background. We can go to the multipads, and if the OTS link is turned on, it will give me a set of multipads which work very well with that backing. So if I play that again, I'm going to press number 1 multipad. That just gives me a drum sound. Number 2. Okay, these aren't necessarily the ideal ones. So I'm going to go into select on the multipads, and I'm going to go into let's go to the brass one first of all, brass and strings, and I've got one called Big Band Swing number 1. Now for those of you who haven't used them, this will play along and it will add to my backing with a really good setting. So let's go to my chord again, and I'm going to press number 1 button, and that will keep playing, and it will change with my chord. Other screen, and that's going to change now. So if I go to any chord here, and it will change it. Now I've got 4, so if I go to number 2 now, So there's my second one. And I can have all 4 on if I wanted to. So they all add something to the rhythm section. The 4th one is often percussion. It often has some hand claps or some drums. But on any different one of these multi-pad settings, I can bring in different styles of things to add to my chords. Let's try a couple more. Let's go into that chord again. Okay, I'm going to try pop, brass, medium, swing. They've got some long names. I'm just going to press multi-pad number 3. Hand clap. Press number 1. And it changes. Now I can stop any of them if I wanted to by pressing the stop button, but I can also just stop the rhythm and they'll all stop with it. Let's go to some different ones. We've got synth brass. I don't know how good your stereo system is on your computer, but that's going between my ears in sort of panning between my sounds. Okay, let's go to some vintage ones, and these are guitar ones. So let's try one of these. Or there's your cowbell. So that's a good one. If we've got a backing on, let's go into, let's try a backing, like a funky backing. If we go to one of the, what have we got here? Which are the funky ones? Pop. Let's just go into a pop shuffle. No, let's go into disco. So if I turn my style down, you'll hear it better. That's quite a good one. So we can go into all these different ones, and there's different sounds that we can select from. We've got nylon guitar. So if we go to nylon beat strum. Okay, now one of the things that I like to do is to turn off the chord feature altogether. So if I turn down the style area, that means that all I'm going to hear now is no drums, no bass, no backing. I'll only hear the multi-pad because I've left the volume up. So I want you to try this yourselves. Get rid of all the styles on the volume for style, and then try one of these. In particular, these nylon ones are great to play along with. So if I go to my first one in the nylon guitar section, it's called nylon 8-beat strum, and then we go into multi-pad number 1. Play my chord. So there's an F chord, A minor, B flat, C. Now let's put a sound on with that that's not too heavy, because that's quite a subtle backing. I can turn the volume up. Okay, I'm going to exit back to the main screen, and I'm going to choose a voice in my first section. So let's put in a flute sound. So woodwind, flute. So what I've done there is I've got just the multi-pads doing my chord backing, while I'm then playing along with my melody and changing my chord just like I'm playing normally, but my drum section isn't in action at all. And that means I've just by bringing the volume down in it, it's just going to be there. It is probably going through its timing thing, but it's not doing anything. So let's go to something different now. Let's go into multi-pad, select again. I'm going to go to the third one down, which is nylon 8-beat strum, and let's put that on. Now these work very well with guitar sounds as well. If we've got a nylon backing in there, let's choose our nylon guitar to go with it. So I'm going to go this time to my acoustic guitar. I'm going to use my concert guitar. Okay, and I'm going to put on my backing again. Now get rid of the harmony. Okay, that works really, really well, doesn't it? So we've got a nice backing going on. It's in the multi-pad section, not the style section. Let's try some more. Now, the other thing you can do is you can mix and match, because once you start one off, if you go to a different one on the screen, it will allow you to keep the other one going. So if I start off my first one, okay, I'm going to jump down to number 3 now and choose the drum one. And let's go to another one, basic. You can also have too many things going on, of course, so you've got to be a little bit careful. Let's just try that again. I'm going to try on, let's try number 3 first. So that's the first one. Now I'm going to add a bit more from another one. Another one. Not that one, no. So we can go around. Now if you've got something playing and you want to stop it, but you want the other ones to keep going, if you just watch closely as I do this now, we've got, let's just start them together. Now then, if I want to have a third one and then I don't like it, I can hold on the stop and press the one I want to stop. And then press it again, it'll stop all of them. But I can just stop an individual one by holding on the stop button and pressing the one I want to stop, rather than just pressing it once and they all stop. Okay, let's have a look at some more. Then we've got vocal ones here, vocal chords. Pop vocals, nice. It's a bit like EastEnders. Okay, we've got bossa nova here. So if I play that with a bossa nova rhythm, let's put my style back up again this time, and we'll bring back my bossa nova style. So in my Latin, page 2, bossa nova, I'm going to put that on. There we go, there's my bossa nova background. Bring the volume down slightly in the multi-pad, so we go. Adds a really nice bit to it, doesn't it? Now let's see what we've got on the other ones. Adds another dimension to your style. So that's a nice effect just by bringing those extra ones in. Now, another one I quite like on here, on the multi-pads, is we've got a really one called Latin Vocal FX1. Now, if I put a good samba rhythm on, let's go to the rhythm section. I think where I am. So bossa novas, we're going to change for a samba in the ballroom, probably. There's a samba. There we go. Now if I bring the volumes right, I'll just bring that down slightly. When I add the Latin vocal effect one here, listen to what it does. Let's put my chords with it. So really, we get it very effective, and I think you should try those out yourself. Now, some of them just do a single thing and don't have anything to do with your chords. So if I go into percussion shot, and I press 1. That's just percussion. There's no tuning to it, so it won't change. Some of them stop when you finish playing. So I go drum shot and I go to electronic kit. We just get one effect, but it doesn't do anything else. So some of them just give you a cymbal. Some of them actually go through a little chord sequence. If you look at the bottom, there's EDM synth and there's DJ phrase, and these go through a chord sequence. So you wouldn't be able to play that along with music you're playing yourself necessarily, unless you learn what it's actually doing. But they're great for sort of DJs to use, and there are DJs that use keyboards like this alongside with their decks to have some extra sounds coming through. If we go to drums, company men. So this is, I think it's called like beatboxing, isn't it? Where you get different voice effects. So you've got to be able to try and incorporate that into what you're playing. But there are some really good in there. And the last one in the bottom here is called Legacy. And Legacy gives us all of the multipads from older models. So if you've been used to an S series or a Tyros 2 or something, that will give you the effects from the multipads of an older model, because it might be you had a favorite, or it might be one of the registrations that you use still uses the multipad from an earlier model, and that means that it will still allow you to. Legacy is also in the main voice section, so I'll just show you that. A lot of people ask us about sounds that they used to use, and if you've got MIDI files that are using a song that you've made from an earlier model, you often want it to keep the same sound because that's how you set it all up. So if we go into the voice section, if we just come back to the main screen and we just go into the picture on voice 1, okay, we can then use the arrow in the bottom right hand corner. I know the screen's not as good when I'm at home because my daughter's got COVID and we're in lockdown, but we've got this set up and hopefully it'll give you an idea. But in the bottom right hand corner we've got the arrow, and then we've got 2 pages, and these are just digital pages of all of the categories that we can see on the left hand side. But if we go down to page 2, you'll see there's some extra sections. One's called Ensemble Part, one's called Legacy, and one is called Mega Voice. Now the Legacy section is where all the voices from previous models have been brought forward and still available. So if we go into the one that I use a lot, which is in the Legacy, is in the string section, and it's called Allegro Strings. And on page 2, I think it is, at the bottom, Allegro Strings. So we can go to sounds that maybe aren't in the new batch, but we used to use them and we've missed them. So if there are certain voices that you want to use which you used to use on previous models, do go into the Legacy section, just like I've just shown you, and go into the different categories. We've still got the arrow back up to see the categories in the Legacy section. And at the bottom of the screen, right at the bottom, it does say preset / legacy. So you know that you're in that Legacy section. And when you want to come out of it again, back arrow up, and then just go into your normal category, because again you can see then it's got preset and then the category you're in. Okay, I'll just check there's no more important messages to go through. Let's have a quick look. Okay, half speed. Maria Costa, bom dia and greetings from Brazil. Thank you very much. Thank you, Maria Costa. Learning Genos. You can keep your new registrations by writing over an existing registration and keep both. When it asks, do you want to keep, say yes, but rename. That's right. So basically, that's a very good point, Learning Genos. Learning Genos, great name. So what we can do is, if you're making a set of voices in the registrations and you want to make some tweaks, but keep it as a separate batch, change the name, and that will give you a second version of the first batch. So if you're making a batch of sounds, you don't want to lose the original set, but you want to make your own changes, you can change the name, just put your initials after it or number 2 or something, and that will then give you a different batch rather than losing the original set that you've adjusted. And then if you're a bit unsure, you could delete those later when you know that you've made all the changes and not got rid of anything you didn't want. Okay, thank you, that's a good one. Then John Ridgway, hi John. When you find multipad sounds you like, then can be saved in the user area. Okay, so the multi-pads, yes, you could copy them across the multi-pads that you've got there. You could file and save, and you could name them as a little batch you want in the user area. That's a good point, John, and then they're a bit easier to find next time. Very fair point. Okay, Peter Bone from Southend on Sea. Hi Peter, bit late joining in, I'll catch up later. Well, that's the beauty of these videos, is we're putting them on there for live, so you can keep going back in and seeing. If there's something I've shown you that you think, can't quite remember how David said to do that, you can rewind it and look again and see the parts. Terence Parker, what is the polyphony of a Genos? I don't know. I think it might be 512, but I'm not sure. It might be more than that. I'll find out for another time. I can't make up that for you. Oh, 128 or more. I'm sure it's plenty. Yeah, it's plenty for everything you want to do. It's a very big memory within it. Martin Ford, for styles not factory, how can I rebalance e.g. too loud drum track, save a new mix, or better still overwrite the original non-factory style? For styles not factory, how can I rebalance too loud drum track? Okay, well, you can go into the styles and you can edit the volumes in the but I think I'll do that specifically another time. We'll go into that because there are quite a lot of things you can do, like you can revoice, you can even have a little solo of one of the sections in your style as well. So we'll cover that another time. We'll go to that a bit more detail, but thanks Martin for bringing that up, Martin Lloyd. Okay, I hope you found today useful. We've covered and jumped around between loads of things, but essentially it's all about just sharing Genos tips and tricks, and we've been selling them for quite a few years now, and the Tyruses, and we've kind of learnt a few things that we've been shown along the way, and we hope that some of the things that we've shown you make you a bit more versatile when you're playing. The things to let you know, we've got loads of second-hand books on our website. If you look, Mel's putting all the second-hand music books into the accessories area, and you can view those and buy them. They're only £4 or £5 each. If you wanted covers or stands or different things to go with your Genos or Tyros or S-Series keyboard, then they're already available as well on the website. If you want any help with anything, if you want extra nurturing on a certain section, do let us know. We're here to help you. We are a shop, so we do part exchanges. If you want to upgrade to a Genos, we've got second-hand ones at the minute at $16.49 to upgrade from a Tyros, and we're selling them at $32.99, but that includes loads of extras. It includes the registration, 600 registrations. It includes also the music finder from a Tyros 5, the new playlists. It includes 25 expansion packs, which Yamaha have now made free, that we load in. It takes quite a long time to load them in, and also we load in 235 styles from a Tyros, so you've got lots of extra things built into it, and we give you a DVD that says how to find everything. Once you've got it home and you're kind of thinking, well, where do I find all these things they've put in, we give you a DVD to show you. So that's our philosophy, to look after people and make sure you get good service, and you get your money's worth out of something like this. It's a great instrument. It just needs to be learnt, and the more you learn, the more fun you'll have. They are fantastic to play. I hope you found it a useful session. So do get in touch if you want any more help. Give us a thumbs up at the bottom, a like if it's been useful to you, and we'll see you again tomorrow. I think we'll be on Genos again tomorrow, so any more questions that I've missed today I will cover tomorrow, including I think Son Solomon wanted some help with the organ sounds, and if you want those sounds, I'll be able to share them with you, and you can email in for them. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Have a good day and be safe.